So hi from Legal Each. Today we have Advocate Mansi Batra with us, who's a data breach associate at United Lex. So welcome, Mansi. We are so happy that you were able to make time for us.
Any day and any time. If you would have given me this opportunity, I would have truly loved to be a part of this session, and hoping that it turns out to be fruitful for each one of us. So, hello, namaste, sat sri akal, and adab to all the listeners, viewers, and audience. And I hope this session turns out to be fun and great learning.
Absolutely. So Mansi, can you tell us a bit about your background and your journey in becoming a lawyer?
Okay, so might sound a little funny to some of the listeners, but I was a medical science student in my higher secondary years, as I always dreamt of becoming a cardiologist. So I dropped a year after my 12th to prepare for the NEET exam. But however, I could not make it to my desired college and course. So I decided to change the path and opt for law. The simple reason being, I wanted to do a professional degree course. And to be really honest, I did not think of it as a profession that I would want for myself. But yes, a lot of people in my school years used to tell me that you have good oratory skills, you have nice presentation skills, so you should be going for something where you can make the most out of it. So, which is why I decided that if not this, then I can go for something where I can make the most of my skills. So, I opted for law. I pursued a 5-year integrated BBA LLB course from FIMT, that's affiliated to GGS IPU. But once I entered the law course, and once I entered the law school and I started to experience things there, I realized that the immense confidence and the grace that this profession has is beyond imagination, and I truly feel blessed to be a part of this fraternity.
Well, that's interesting. So Mansi, you are a data breach analyst.
Yes.
What exactly is a data breach analyst?
Okay. So, understanding my role has to be simplified for everybody to get the gist out of it. So, if I talk about my role is not related to something that happens in the usual, the litigation things that we do. My role is a little difficult, and it's a little different, I would say. And for the generations to come, I guess it's a very interesting role. So, talking about this role, what happens is that the role is divided into e-discovery. E-discovery is something that we do, that we have documents available. We are provided with a database, and we are given about protocols which are related to the case background and field of the case. And basis that, we decide whether a document is relevant to be produced before the honorable court, and if produced, will it help us win the case, or will it help us lose in the case. So this is where our job comes into place. So we help the clients assist and decide whether particular documents in the database are relevant, confidential, privileged, what kind of content do they hold, and how can they help us in bringing the facts to light.
Mansi, so are there many roles like yours in legal
Yes.
industry in India, or is it something which is new or has just come up? How do you go about it? I mean, we want to know.
Okay. So, talking about my role has not is not something that's just come up over the few years. So it's been in the industry for quite some time. However, now with the advancements, and now with the data privacy and protection laws coming into place, coming into discussion, and more deliberations are going about it, this role has come more into the light. So the role is basically, it has a lot of roles attached to it. So it's not just particularly one role. It has document review, it has contract management, it has contract abstraction through technological databases, it has incidents response roles. So there are different kinds of roles that come under the field of data breach associate. And there are different learning opportunities that one must look for once you get into this role. So it's an endless sea where you can, discover, you as much as you dive in, you get to learn a lot of new things.
All right. So, Mansi, is it pertaining to American law, European law?
Yes, currently the cases that we're dealing with are mostly, US based, UK based, European company cases. The simple reason being we do not have much stronger laws in place in India right now. But however, we are all aware that these laws are being worked upon, right? And they're being developed, they're being drafted, they're being presented in the houses. There are discussions and deliberations all about it. So slowly and gradually, as these laws would come into place, this is one industry that I feel will experience a lot of boom in the coming years. So this is a developing industry, no doubts about that. But if you get into this field right now, I feel that by the time it enters Indian market, you would have a lot of experience about it.
मानसी, अगर कोई फ्रेशर है, कोई लॉ स्टूडेंट है और उसे आपके जैसे ही डेटा ब्रीच एनालिस्ट बनना है, या he or she wants to venture into this, so what advice would you give to them? How should they go about it?
Okay. So, the very first advice that I would like to give all the law students out there who are looking for new opportunities or new fields in law, and they do not want to stick to the conventional legal jobs that are already available and are venturing into something new like the data breach associate role that I am pursuing currently. So, one thing that you need to do is you need to be open to opportunities and open to learning. You just cannot live in your comfort zone and think that staying in here or following the conventional rule that's coming through ages and something that's going on for the ages is one thing that is going to give me a stable career or is going to give me a stability in life. So you should always be learning and you should always be open to learn new things. This is one thing. The second thing is that maintaining a strong social profile these days is very important. So when it comes to profession like ours, like the legal profession, maintaining a strong like the outlook that we portray, जैसा हम बाहर दिखाएंगे सोसाइटी में वैसा ही लोग हमें परसीव करेंगे, राइट? सो अपने आप को एक स्ट्रॉन्ग पर्सनालिटी, एक बोल्ड लॉयर की तरह प्रेजेंट करना इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, एंड दैट कम्स थ्रू मेंटेनिंग अ स्ट्रॉन्ग लिंक्डइन प्रोफाइल, naukri.com profile if you're looking for new jobs, right? You should be very clear in your mind what you're looking for. If आपको ही नहीं पता कि आपको क्या चाहिए, somebody would not serve it into a platter for you. So you have to be clear about your choices in life, and it all comes through taking risks. सो अगर आप रिस्क लोगे, आप कुछ नया सीखोगे, यू विल गेट द मोस्ट आउट ऑफ इट, एंड लर्निंग्स नेवर गो वेस्ट. कुछ भी सीखा हुआ कभी वेस्ट नहीं जाता. सो यू शुड ऑलवेज बी ओपन टू लर्निंग न्यू थिंग्स इज व्हाट आई फील इज द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट. कि आप कुछ भी नया सीख सकते हो लाइफ में. लर्निंग हैज नो एज.
Mansi, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Keeping an open mind, um, looking what you want, just not doing something which others are doing, so following their suit. No, what you want is, you should know what you want. Because as you said, आपने कहा कि जब खुद को ही नहीं मालूम तो how would the second person know what are you looking for? क्या जॉब रोल है? सिर्फ क्या इसीलिए आप वो कर रहे हैं क्योंकि बाकी लोग भी कर रहे हैं? क्या आप कॉर्पोरेट में इसलिए जा रहे हैं because everybody, every second person wants to go into corporate? Are you doing because of that, or because you have a perception that corporate, gives a good package, or are you doing it because it has become a trend? So one has to be clear, आप करना क्या चाहते हैं? Because I guess every field has pro and cons. So Mansi, you being from a corporate field, pure corporate field, according to you, what are the pros associated with your role or being in corporate, or what are the cons, if any? So we would want to know.
Sure. So talking about the pros and cons of being into this field, Firstly, let's talk about the positive aspects, because I always believe that if the positive outweighs the negatives, it's you're always in a win-win situation. So, talking about the pros, one thing is that I had a very different mindset when I entered this industry. So, talking about corporate law firms or corporate sector in terms of law, हर किसी के माइंड में एक पिक्चर होती है दैट हम कंपनीज की तरफ से केस लड़ने जाएंगे, कंपनीज को प्रेजेंट करेंगे कोर्ट में, या हम कंपनीज को असिस्ट करेंगे, राइट? बट ये जो रोल है, इसके बारे में बहुत कम लोग आई गेस आजकल के टाइम में जानते हैं, द डाटा ब्रीच एसोसिएट रोल. रीजन बीइंग कि अभी इट्स नॉट दैट मच इनटू द इंडस्ट्री, वन थिंग. बट प्रोज मुझे ये लगते हैं दैट बीइंग अ फर्स्ट जनरेशन लॉयर, लाइक I found it a little difficult for me to make way into the litigation. Reason being, there are various factors. Although I was blessed to have a mentor like you, but not everybody is. So, so this is one thing. The other thing is that if you're looking for a handsome salary package in the very beginning of your law career, like agar aap chahte ho कि as soon as your college days end, you're looking for a salary or a fixed income that you get each month. So for that, this job is good, because everybody knows that in the initial litigation years, you need to put in a lot of hard work. It's time consuming, it's a little demanding also. Law is a jealous mistress, as it is said, right? So it is a very time consuming profession. So a lot of people would prefer corporate sector over the litigation sector, which is one thing that I was also more inclined towards the corporate sector, to be very honest. And now talking about the cons are that you restrict your learning a little bit. How, like when you come into the litigation field, आप daily new cases देखते हो, आप judgments read करते हो, आप रोज नए clients से deal करते हो, आपका circle increase होता है, आप socialize करते हो, so आपके contacts बढ़ते हैं, right? And it helps you grow as a professional and a person in both ways, right? So ये job जो मैं कर रही हूँ is no doubt helping me a lot as a professional, because I'm getting to learn about the tools, I'm getting to learn about new things, I'm getting to explore. But कहीं ना कहीं जो एक रीडिंग या लर्निंग वाला पार्ट है, वो कहीं ना कहीं मुझे मैं मिस करती हूँ. दैट when we were interns, when we used to read about judgments, एक वो reasoning मिलती थी, एक litigation में fun आता है when you hear to the hearings that are going in the case, when you hear to the arguments, वो एक arguments सुनना and everything, वो चीज मैं थोड़ा सा मिस करती हूँ यहाँ पर in this environment, because as it is said, corporate is a very sophisticated environment. So यहाँ पर एक वो feel मिस करती हूँ मैं थोड़ा सा, बाकी it's all good.
हाँ, थोड़ा भाग दौड़ वाला फील मिस करते हो आप. the rush which you get, right? Appearing. But then there are pros and cons, as you said, because initial years में litigation में time देना पड़ता है. I guess youth देना पड़ता है, मुझे ऐसा लगता है. You have to put your youth in it. So if you're not putting your youth in it, it's not going to give you returns. तो बहुत महंगा सौदा है.
Everybody is ready to sacrifice that.
I know.
So
time, absolutely, क्योंकि मानसी, corporates have a fixed timing, right? But litigation law firms में कोई time नहीं होता. आने का टाइम है, जाने का टाइम नहीं है. तो you have to be there. बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें होती हैं जिसमें हमें लोग बताते हैं इनिशियल ईयर्स में कि सुबह सुबह कोर्ट में जाते हैं, फिर रात में ब्रीफिंग के लिए जाते हैं सीनियर्स के साथ, फिर कभी कभी घर भी नहीं जाते, और नेक्स्ट डे यू हैव टू बी रेडी विद द केस. that's a huge investment of time and youth actually. So yes, as you said, क्योंकि आपके फील्ड में एक स्टेबिलिटी है, इनिशियल ईयर से स्टेबिलिटी आ जाती है. इट इज गुड फॉर फर्स्ट जनरेशन लॉयर्स हु डोंट have an office setup, who don't have a guiding hand with them, because that is I absolutely agree कि litigation में guidance और mentorship अगर अच्छी हो तो आप थोड़ा सा fast move कर सकते हैं. else things are bound to become stagnant. Well, Mansi, moving on further, um, what advice would you like to give to law students who are, on verge of getting graduate and want to choose litigation, or want to choose corporate sector, or want to do judicial services, want to go into government job preparation? उनके लिए क्या एडवाइस होगी आपकी? अगर किसी को लिटिगेशन में जाना है तो क्या प्रिपेयर्ड होना चाहिए उनको? अगर किसी को कॉर्पोरेट में जाना है तो कैसा माइंडसेट लेके जाना चाहिए? अगर किसी को प्रिपरेशन करनी है जुडिशरी की तो कैसा माइंडसेट लेके प्रिपरेशन करनी चाहिए? वी वांट टू नो फ्रॉम यू.
Okay, so you've asked for advice in three different fields altogether. So talking about the litigation field at first, अगर आपको लिटिगेशन में अपना करियर बिल्ड करना है, इफ यू फोकस्ड अबाउट इट, अगर आपको एक स्ट्रॉन्ग लॉयर की तरह आना है, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इज वन थिंग दैट यू शुड फोकस ऑन योर रीडिंग स्किल्स. रीडिंग स्किल्स को स्ट्रॉन्ग करना बहुत जरूरी है, बी इट रीडिंग न्यूज़पेपर कॉलम्स, बी इट रीडिंग जजमेंट्स, एंड understanding the reasoning behind those judgments is very important. So litigation field mein, it's a lot of skills that you need to work on. You need to work on your drafting skills, you need to work on your reading skills, you need to work on your speaking skills. It's an overall development altogether, right? So litigation mein agar aap ja rahe ho, to you should go with a mindset, you should be prepared that no matter how difficult it might seem to continue, no matter kitne bhi hurdles aaye, kitni bhi problems aaye, you should never give up. Be it in corporate sector, be it in preparation for judiciary exams, or be it in litigation, that never giving up attitude is something that will keep you going on. So this is one thing that I have to say when it comes to giving advice. The second thing is, when you're preparing for competitive exams like the judicial exams, you should be very focused. Ki if I have to crack this, I have to crack this. And it comes through setting small achievable goals. If आप सोचो कि मैं एक ही दिन में सारा सिलेबस कवर कर लूं, that's not possible. That's practically not possible for any individual, right? So setting small goals. आज मैं इतना पोर्शन कवर करूंगा, आज मैं इतना पोर्शन कवर करूंगी, the next day I will do this much, the next day I will do this much. So you have to plan your days accordingly. That is one thing. The second thing is, if you're preparing for judicial services examinations or any kind of competitive examinations, appearing for as many model test papers, mock test papers, sample papers, previous year papers that you get online or through any other resources is very, very important, because it gives you an idea of what kind of questions will be put to you in the exam. So it helps you, it gets you an edge while you're appearing for competitive exams like these. And the third thing is, when you're entering the corporate sector, you should be very much prepared that you will be grilled from the very first day. So if you're prepared to be grilled, and if you're very headstrong about it, and if you're very confident about your personality or outlook, how you are, and if you're determined that you have to do this job, this is one job that's meant for you, this is the mindset that you should be taking in when you're going for corporate jobs. Because if you think, okay, let's just give it a try, it might help you in the initial few days, but start slowly and gradually you will start to lose interest, because हर चीज trial से नहीं चल सकती है. So one thing that I would suggest everybody out there is, who's trying to make their careers in this profession, first clear your head. अपना माइंड क्लियर रखो कि हमें क्या चाहिए. अगर हमें एक फिक्स सैलरी जॉब चाहिए जिसमें डिसेंट वर्किंग आवर्स हो, एक वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस हम मेंटेन कर सकते हैं, एंड एवरीथिंग लुक्स वेरी स्टारी, एंड एवरीथिंग, एक डिसेंट जॉब हम करना चाहते हैं विच इज नॉट वेरी डिमांडिंग, then you can go for a corporate job. If you're looking for something that's challenging every day, and this is something that gives you the adrenal rush and keeps you moving, then you should go for litigation. And if there's something that you feel that you have good decision making skills, and you have good interpretation skills, you have a good sense of judgment, you can advise or you can make judgments for other people, and wise judgments, then you should be going for the judicial sector.
I mean, Mansi, every tip which you have given is so beneficial because you have just broken down all the three sections and then you have explained. It's completely enlightening. Let me just tell you. So moving on further, Mansi, हर लॉयर की लाइफ में स्ट्रेस होता है, किसी के कम किसी के ज्यादा. इनिशियल ईयर्स में कम होता है, जैसे जैसे we move, towards mid level, it increases. It's natural for the stress to increase. So, how do you cope up with stress if you get stressed about anything? What is your coping mechanism all about?
Okay. So you've said it very aptly that every profession, not just the legal profession, but every profession has stress attached to it. And slowly and gradually, as you move in the profession and you rise to the mid level or the higher levels, you start to experience stress at greater levels, right? So, firstly, I believe that maintaining a healthy work life balance is very important. स्ट्रेस होगा ही नहीं अगर, जैसे मैंने बोला कि अगर हम अपने डे को प्लान आउट कर कर चलेंगे, इफ वी स्टार्ट आवर डे बाय सेटिंग स्मॉल अचीवेबल गोल्स, तो हमारे को स्ट्रेस होगा ही नहीं. दिस इज द मैकेनिज्म दैट आई फॉलो एंड टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, इट्स हेल्प्ड मी अ लॉट. Seriously, it's helped me a lot. Every day when I start my day, I have a diary with me and I prepare a to-do list. I have 5 6 tasks that I write down, that I have to achieve these tasks in the entire day, and I plan my day accordingly. I manage my time accordingly. I plan my tasks accordingly, and as soon as I complete one of the tasks, I start ticking the list. So when out of the 5 7 tasks that you've listed, when you tick out the 4 5 tasks that you've already achieved, it gives you a sense of accomplishment. So that sense of accomplishment wears out all the stress that you have. So एक वो motivation factor होता है ना, okay मैंने आज ये 5 चीजें कर ली, मैंने 7 में से ये 5 चीजें कर ली, I am not stressed. बाकी की 2 चीजें बची हैं, I have these many hours, I'll be able to manage it. So this is one mechanism that I follow to deal with stress. And I believe that everybody has a different coping mechanism when it comes to dealing with stress or burnouts, as we say, because there may be times when you might feel that there's no way out, or I don't know what to do, I feel lost. So ऐसा अगर आपको फील हो रहा है, it's always better to take a break. Take a break, relax, introspect, and try to understand what you want from life, what you're looking for in the coming few years for yourself. At this point of time, I feel that spending time with your friends and family helps you with the chaos, right? So they are one such guiding angels in your life कि जिनके साथ आप time spend करके you feel relaxed. The other thing is that everybody has a different mechanism. For some it might be socializing. कई लोगों को friends के साथ घूम के, outings में जाके या बात करके अपने किसी अच्छे friend से you might feel good that I've shared out everything I had in my mind, now I'm feeling good. For some people it might be sitting in one corner, introspecting, journaling, writing down how they're feeling, why they're feeling, what they're feeling, and learning how to deal with it. And there's one last thing that I would like to add in this. If you want to deal with stress, our profession is a little demanding, I agree. And especially when you're in corporate jobs, there are litigation is a little different. You get a mixture of both worlds. Like you get to run also, you get to chase also. Then there are days when you're sitting and drafting also. But when it comes to corporate, there are mostly days when you're sitting at one place from 9 to 5, you have a job, you're sitting in front of the desktop. So at that time, in order to avoid stress, physical activities, be it yoga, be it meditation, or be it like a simple walk, 1,000 steps, 5,000 steps a day, is one thing that each one of us should incorporate in order to avoid and escape all the stress that we have through this profession or that comes up in our life because of various other reasons.
I absolutely agree with you, Mansi. Mansi, because corporate sector has a office-like setup, so under one roof we have many departments. We have a HR, we have a manager, a supervisor to whom we are reporting. How do you deal with office politics? how should one deal with office politics? I mean, this is $1 million question. Everybody wants to know this. Anyone who is into a office setup has some time or the other experienced backstabbing, office politics, extreme backbiting, where a person doesn't know what he did and why, he is facing such consequences. ऐसा क्या करा हमने, ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? So what is your tip, what is your mechanism, to stay away from such stuff, or to protect yourself from this?
This is indeed a very interesting question. So, office politics is one thing that you cannot avoid if you're in a corporate setup, right? So ऐसा नहीं है that आप सबसे smile करके morning में greet कर रहे हो, you meeting everybody nicely, you're talking sweetly to everybody, you're helping everybody out there, and everybody else is also reciprocating the same thing. So it's not that way. Everybody has a different nature, everybody has different mindsets, everybody has different perspective, and a difference of opinion is a must. So what I believe is, मेरा जो एक mechanism रहता है, I always work with one belief, that you should be true to your work. आप अपना काम 100% honesty के साथ करो, because if you're right, nobody can point a finger towards you. अगर आपकी 9 to 5 की जॉब में आपको 1 hour का ब्रेक अलाउड है, दैट आप 1 hour का ब्रेक ले सकते हो, सो मेक श्योर कि आप वो 1 hour का ही ब्रेक ले रहे हो. बी इट इन इंटरवल्स ऑफ 15 minutes, यू टेक 4 breaks, बी इट आप हाफ एन आवर के दो ब्रेक्स ले लो, बी इट आप 1 hour का इकट्ठा ब्रेक ले लो, दैट इज अप टू यू. That is something that you need to know how you have to manage your time. But and one thing is that you should not get involved in the gossips or in the office politics. आपको personally आपका जो goal होना चाहिए, that should be learning, that should be growing in terms of your as a person, and in terms of what you are as a professional, right? So आपका primary goal होना चाहिए कि मैं वहां पर काम करने जा रहा हूँ या काम करने जा रही हूँ. I am going there to learn new things. I am going there to explore new things. I am not going there to become a part of petty small groups discussing over small issues, making big hills out of moles, right? तो वो हमारा mindset नहीं होना चाहिए. We should have a professional mindset when we are entering the corporate world, and अपने college वाले time को पीछे छोड़कर जाना पड़ता है. So if you feel that ये मेरा अच्छा दोस्त है, या ये मेरे हिस्से का भी काम कर देगा, I am sorry, there are no free lunches in this world. So कोई आपके हिस्से का काम नहीं करेगा. You have to be prepared, you have to give your 100%, not just in this, even in litigation. If you are being trusted with an opportunity or a responsibility, you are the one who's responsible for that and accountable for that. So you cannot depend on somebody else, right? And office politics ठीक है होती है, हर जगह होती है. बट अगर आप अपना काम 100% ऑनेस्टी के साथ कर रहे हो, एंड यू नो दैट यू नॉट डन एनीथिंग रॉन्ग, you know you've not said anything wrong about anybody else, you are very respectful towards your peers, your colleagues, then there's nothing that can harm you.
I mean, this is something very nicely said by you, Mansi. अगर हम काम के पे फोकस कर रहे हैं, काम अपना पूरी तरीके से कर रहे हैं, तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि किसी की इतनी हिम्मत है कि कोई कुछ बोल सके. और I have seen both of the worlds. Corporate में focusing on your work is must. Staying away from, groups, staying away from even friendships, I would say, because nobody is your best friend there, unfortunately. This is the difference between corporate and litigation. लिटिगेशन में भी कोई आपका बेस्ट फ्रेंड नहीं होता, बट हाँ, एक दो हो जाते हैं फिर भी डाउन द लाइन. बट कॉर्पोरेट में ट्रस्ट इश्यूज बहुत ज्यादा होते हैं. आई हैव सीन इट पर्सनली. आप तो देख ही रहे हो. दैट्स व्हाई यू हैव अ वेरी क्लियर पिक्चर कि मुझे देखो मैम, काम करना है, हमें काम करना है. जब ब्रेक होगा तो ब्रेक करना है, वरना काम करना है. That's it. Because I want to grow. You want to grow in your profile, right? So, Mansi, one last question. what is one advice which you would like to give to law students or young lawyers out there to excel in their profession? According to you, one advice.
uh, पहले तो मैं चाहती नहीं हूँ कि ये सेशन एंड हो. As soon as you said that it's the one last question, I'm already feeling nostalgic about it. And secondly, okay, so coming to the point, the one advice that I would give to all law students or young professionals who are, looking out their way into this profession is believe in yourself. Just have that faith that चाहे आज हम थोड़ा सा ही अचीव कर पा रहे हैं, but there will be a day when we will achieve everything that we want. So अपने आप पे faith होना, अपनी values पे faith होना, and the learnings that you've made throughout these years is very, very important. If you have faith in yourself, if you have that belief, if you have that hope that yes, I can do and I will do it, so वो मुझे एक चीज लगती है, that is something that it will keep you going in any kind of situation. कोई भी कैसी भी situation आ जाए, you will be able to deal with it because you have that mindset that हाँ, I can do it, मैं कर सकती हूँ. There's nothing impossible. There's nothing that can stop me. I'm a very powerful individual. The God has given me with abilities to deal with everything in life. And भगवान मुझे यहाँ तक लाया है तो वो मुझे आगे भी लेकर जाएगा, right? So there's one supreme power that's guiding us, right? वो हमें मेंटर्स से भी मिलवाते हैं, वो हमें रास्ता भी दिखाते हैं, वो हमें हिम्मत भी देते हैं, right? So one thing is believe in yourself. The second thing is just manage your time well and try to smart work instead of hard work. This generation is all about smart work, right? So try to figure out ways where you can do your work smartly, right? And where you can do your work more efficient manners, use technology, use the more new ways that are coming that can make your work easier. And the last thing that I would like to tell everybody is stay humble but hustle hard. Polite रहिए, किसी से भी don't mind that ये तो मुझसे छोटा है, ये मेरा जूनियर है, मुझे क्या सिखाएगा. No, there might be instances, in fact I have actually felt those in the past few years, that sometimes the younger generation has a lot more knowledge and a lot more to give. तो आप ये मत सोचो कि ये मुझसे छोटा है, ये मुझे क्या सिखा सकता है. यू शुड बी ऑलवेज हम्बल टू लर्न कि हाँ ठीक है, मुझसे छोटा भी है और मुझे कोई अच्छी चीज सिखाकर जा रहा है तो आई हैव टू लर्न. एंड मेहनत करने से पीछे मत हटो. Just hustle hard, just give your 100% and have faith in yourself. Believe in yourself कि आप कुछ भी कर सकते हो. You will be able to achieve all the heights that you desire of.
बहुत ही it's absolutely true, मानसी. Belief in yourself is must. खुद में विश्वास रखना. I know things become tough. But I think things are tough for everyone, right? अब तो ऐसा लगता है सबके साथ ही कुछ ना कुछ टफनेस है, प्रॉब्लम्स है. So you have to have faith in yourself. With this, thank you so much, Mansi, for being here. Thank you so much for sharing so much wisdom at such young age. It's wonderful, I must just tell you. I personally thoroughly enjoyed this session. मुझे बहुत खुशी हुई आपसे बात करके. एंड आई बिलीव कि जब हमारे लिसनर्स, ऑडियंसेस, लॉ स्टूडेंट्स सुनेंगे आपको, उन्हें बहुत बेनिफिट मिलने वाला है, उन्हें बहुत मोटिवेशन मिलने वाली है.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be a part of this session and offering me this platform so that I can make my voice heard to a lot out there. And मुझे ये लगता है personally that अगर मेरे और हमारे इस सेशन से किसी एक इंडिविजुअल की भी लाइफ में चेंज आ जाए और एक वो पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट आ जाए, our job is done. So,
yes, absolutely.
Yes. So I thoroughly enjoyed and loved this session, to be very honest. And I really don't want this session to end. So that is one thing. But I know everything comes to an end, and looking forward to many more sessions like these. It's always a privilege and honor to be a part of these sessions. Thank you so very much, ma'am, to you, because the very first day, I started the internship with you, I still remember. I just felt that spark, that connection, that yes, I found the right mentor, and now there's nothing that I cannot achieve. So thank
Thank
you
you.
for being that guiding angel in my life, for sparking that spark in me that you can do it. I still remember those COVID times that were very trying for all of us. They were very tough times, but during those trying times also, you were the one who motivated each one of us to do our best. And any words of appreciation are very less to tell you what impact you've had on my life. So thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart for bringing in this change and giving me this opportunity today to have this session with you. Thank you.
Mansi, likewise. I'm very bad with words. So I'm going to say likewise. Um, I learned a lot from you. I learn a lot from everyone. As you said, age is nothing. तो छोटों से बहुत सीख सकते हैं, बड़ों से बहुत सीख सकते हैं. हर किसी से सीखने को ही है. मतलब you can learn from anything in this world. So thank you so much, Mansi. With this, we'll be ending this session.